Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon.
Seth Rollins loses the Raw Tag Team Championships. The poor guy's only got one title now. Nia Jax turns heel for the 19th time this month. And Riott broke Natalya's sunglasses, which somehow led to the referee abandoning the match. I'm Ollie Davis, and I don't know what's going on either. So give us a subscribe, press the thumbs up button, let me know what you thought of Raw in the comments down below because I'll be replying from out of nowhere. And click the eye above my head to give your rating, where you can choose from in awe, core, average, poor and bore, as I review the 5th of November 2018 edition of Monday Night Raw in about 4 minutes. Raw opened with most of the roster at the top of the ramp and a line of security guards by the ring for Baron Corbin's opening promo, where he hoped Raw wins at Survivor Series because then he'll become the permanent Raw General Manager. As part of his Survivor Series strategy, he announced Alexa Bliss as the women's team captain, implying she's still injured and not cleared to compete, and named Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman in the men's lineup, because Braun and Corbin might be locked in a blood feud since Baron cost him the Universal title at Crown Jewel. But Raw is also severely lacking top stars, and they need all the people they can get. But not you, Finn Balor. No. You've got to lose to Bobby Lashley. Kurt Angle interrupted one of these many announcements, demanding Corbin's men's captain spot be put on the line in a match with him later that night, to which Baron agreed. This was a long, wordy, and exposition-heavy segment. At least it ended with some action. Strowman ran down, beat up the security guards, and chased off Corbin, starting a brawl at the top of the ramp between the rest of the roster that was never resolved. And I was so invested in that burgeoning Jinder Mahal versus Chad Gable feud. This set up a night-long storyline of Strowman chasing Corbin around the building, which added a nicely chaotic tone to the evening, but Braun needed significantly more revenge after getting embarrassed at Crown Jewel. How's this for a fresh new matchup? We got the Riott Squad versus Sasha Banks, Bayley and Natalya, which, stats fans, is the 16th televised match involving Banks and a member of the Riott Squad since April. Make it stop! Make it stop. But one piece of booking wasn't actually that tiresome. It was just weird. Natalya wore a pair of sunglasses down to the ring in honor of her recently passed father, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. On nearly having the match won, though, Riott snapped the glasses in front of her, which is a good angle in my opinion, but it weirdly fizzled out as the Riott Squad just walked away, despite the match still going on, and Natalya just sat there crying, which was just a bit awkward. Apollo Crews beat Jinder Mahal because he's getting a push, remember? Seth Rollins looked awesome next, coming out with the Intercontinental title around his waist and both tag belts draped over his neck. Sadly, that was the last time we'd see that. Baron booked an impromptu match where Rollins had to defend the tag belts against AOP. Where's vacant when you need him? Seth gave it a good shot, taking it to both guys for the majority, but AOP eventually picked up the win to become the new Raw Tag Team Champions. They quickly scarpered for the next angle as Ambrose came through the crowd and hit a dirty deeds on Seth, again refusing to explain his actions. But don't worry, we have Dean's real-life wife on commentary to fill in the gaps. So Michael Cole asked, and Renee Young said she tried to find out, but he wouldn't say. Renee and Dean's marriage has been mostly ignored on WWE TV, and referencing it here, which opens up a whole realm of logic holes, was misjudged. Elias continues to be super over as a babyface, getting a hero's reaction in Manchester by spontaneously leading them in a 7-nation army chant, but his in-ring charisma is still lacking, with Dolph Ziggler's offense again being 80% sleeper hold. Despite being dominated for the majority of the match, Elias hit a drift away for a flat victory. Ronda Rousey's promo delivery improves every week, which it'll have to now she's in a feud with the figurative man, Becky Lynch. Nia Jax came out to remind Ronda she's got a title match after Survivor Series with her champ, and then out came Ember Moon. Not for her own stare down with Ronda, nor to develop her storyline with Nia, but to serve as the backdrop for Jax turning heel and aligning herself with Tamina. a partnership the crowd didn't care about because Tamina isn't over, and Nia babyface heel turns are overdone. Talking of fantastic in-ring wrestlers being sacrificed for their larger, less talented counterparts, Finn Balor lost to Bobby Lashley, and then was also hit by a Claymore kick by Drew McIntyre. Because screw you fans for liking someone! As frustrating as Balor being used as a punching bag is, it did help Drew look awesome, which was brilliantly built on in the main event. As Corbin was chased off by Braun earlier, McIntyre replaced him in the main event against Kurt, which was a rare example of WWE booking a legend to strongly put over a current wrestler. McIntyre dominated Kurt with deadlift suplexes, a claymore, calling him an embarrassment to his family, and then the ultimate insult, making Angle tap in his own move, the ankle lock. This made Drew look amazingly strong, and I'm all for that. But it's also hard to ignore how terrible Kurt has been made to look since returning to WWE. While this episode had its moments, like Drew being a boss and the continued Rollins-Ambrose storyline, the majority was lazily repeated matchups, your favorites being beaten up, and a very poor follow-up on Braun's crown jewel loss. This week's Raw is poor. CM Punk once dated Maria Kanellis and Mickie James and Lita. Find out 45 more real-life wrestling couples by clicking the WrestleTalk.com link on screen now. And what major Survivor Series plans have been scrapped? Click the video in the top left to find out. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.